Okay, welcome back to another one. Stage 3 ZWIFT Games Cat C race. This is the 330 to 450 category. And after last week's pretty poor performance on stage 2, looking for a better stage this time. So the plan very much stay with the front group. As you can see from the topography on the right-hand corner, top right-hand corner, there's 6 climbs on this race. So this week I have done some recon. I've watched a couple of YouTubers, and I have actually ridden this course a few times myself. So far better prepared. I actually did kind of a warm-up, maybe 10 minutes of kind of warming up, which for me is a lot. Last week I think was 90 seconds of warm-up. So I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I've had quite a lot of rest. I've had a lot of carbohydrate over the last few days, so I'm feeling pretty good. I am absolutely prepared to the game plan. Just stay with the front group for as long as you can and just see where it takes me. If I can get to the last climb with the front group, I'm going to just completely empty the tank. But the idea is on these 6 climbs, put in the minimum amount of effort, but enough to stay with the front. And if that means burying yourself on every single climb, then that's what I'm prepared to do. I'm prepared to go pretty deep on any of these. So there's 53 people in this race. There's over 250 metres of climbing, which is a little bit too much for me, but occasionally I do surprise myself. So I don't like much more than 150 over sort of a 20 odd kilometre race, but I'm up for it. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. I'll fast forward us to the first climb. Literally fast forwarded us about 200 metres, but I've sped the action up. So this is the first climb, just to get a feel for people, really. Again, it is just do the minimum amount. The minimum can be a lot, and already you can see people getting away from me a little bit, but just stay with this front group. People will crack, and you just need to make sure people are popping their feathers already. So you get a feather at the beginning. There are no power-ups in this other than in the pen when you start. You get this feather. It's up to you when you use it. I'm going to try and keep it until the 6th climb right at the end, which seems incredibly optimistic, whereas half the field have already used theirs just to stay. So that's a good sign for me that people are already struggling. Didn't have to go too deep on that first climb, and I'm still in touch at the front. And it's this next climb which I really enjoy, actually. I've done this one quite a few times recently. And what I do is I come down this hill quite quickly, and then I put on the power around here, I think. And as you can see, look, it's flashing on the top of the map there. And I go pretty hard on this climb, like just 400 or 500 watts. And I actually get myself to the front, which is absolutely not what I was intending to do. This time last week, I shot off like a rocket and paid for it in the fake sort of breakaway, the fake away. But this time that was a managed effort up Libby Hill Con, because I've done that quite a few times, and that for me is the best way to deal with it. This guy, the blue Tron bike, I did think, should I go with him? I just thought, nah, absolutely not. There's so much climbing and so much course left to race. I was like, we'll get back to him, no problem. I'd have thought with a big group like this. And so that's the first 2 climbs, which is pretty awesome. You know, there's already people that are flagging, which is great. This little downhill section, obviously, I'm not worried about, all the flat plateau in the middle. But it's just a case of doing that again, just another 4 times. There we go. We got the guy on the blue Tron bike. It was a spirited effort, but I think he realised that it probably wasn't the correct thing to do. I don't know whether I spurred him into doing that. That was me up Libby Hill Com. That's just what I do. That's not me trying to make a breakaway, but it does obviously make people panic when they see a rider go off like that. But it was a managed effort. So now it's just a case of small sort of flat section and then another uphill section coming up. So I'll just fast forward us to that. So nothing much happened in that last couple of kilometres, just that flat section, but there is already a 17, 18 second gap between this front group and is that now 20 seconds and the second group for this third climb. So just by making sure you're in the front group, it just puts pressure on people. And this is the third climb. And for me, this is probably the most important climb of the day in this race, because if I feel like if I can get up this climb, it's the longest climb. It's not the steepest, but it's the longest. And I feel like if I can get to the top of this with this front group and onto that flat plateau, then I'm going to have a good race and I will definitely finish in the top half. And that's the idea, just stay with these guys. I can sag a little bit, it's not super steep, and there's a nice little flat section here, which I think I lay down a few more watts just on this little flat section. As long as the front runners in the group don't get away too much, I'm happy just to manage my effort around 300 watts. And that obviously is going to continue to make a bit of a gap between us and the second group. But if I can get to the top of this climb, I feel as though the flat section and the downhill section, no problem. And then it's just the last 3 climbs to negotiate. But so far, so good. Far better than last week's race already, which was just an absolute embarrassment, really. A complete abomination. But we go again, we learn. I've rested. I've had a lot of caffeine today as well. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm feeling pretty amped. I'm absolutely locked in, and I've made it to the top of this 3rd climb for this flat section. Just make sure you keep the power on just until you're over the crest of the hill. Just good practice, really. That blue Tron bike's off the front again, but it's no biggie. And this plateau section now, it was absolutely wonderful. Just got lots of rest over the next sort of 5 odd kilometres, maybe even more than that. So I'm going to fast forward us to the end of this plateau section. Yes, that's not nearly 8 kilometres of that kind of flat plateau section in the middle. Nothing much has happened. I've conserved a lot of watts, mainly sort of zone 3 sweet spot stuff. It's fantastic. I'm just rejuvenating. The second group behind us, they're 24 seconds back, and it's going to take a lot for them to get back on. I think I accidentally get to the front here. Any sort of downhill section, I don't feel like I'm pushing, but I just get to the front, and I think I try not to, but and I get slung shot back into the group, which I'm absolutely fine with. Spent a lot of that plateau just dangling out the back, just conserving energy, conserving those watts for the next couple of climbs. And we're good, I feel as though, I think there is about 25 riders in this front group, I think maybe 20. So the plan is going okay. I'm feeling like I've got good energy still, and I'm ready for the 4th climb, which we're going to go to now. Had really good rest over the last kind of 10 kilometres, so I'm absolutely prepared to bury myself on this one, which looks horrible. One guy kind of off the front trying to push the pace a little bit, but this bit now, it was tough. Had to go pretty deep on this one. Just got to stay with the front runners. I'm absolutely not one of the best climbers in this field, but today I was just on one. I just felt like I was making up for last week's absolute shambles of a race. And as you can see, it's kind of getting a bit strung out, but I'm still up near 300-400 watts just to stay in contact over this cobbled section. Bodies everywhere, but it's not really too much of a problem. I'm nearly at the top, and then there's a bit of a plateau and then a downhill section, so I'm feeling like just hang on for another sort of 20 to 30 seconds and you'll have made it over the 4th one. And here we are. So got to the top, kind of 12th position. I'm actually okay with that. I'd have taken that at the beginning of the race. So it's now just a case of getting in the draft of these people in front of me, and it's basically straight back onto. Is this Libby Hill Com reverse? I want to say it could be. I don't quite know, but it's a downhill straight into an uphill. So I'm going to try and use my best to draft off these guys, lay some power down, and slingshot myself up this hill, which I think I do. Look at it. It's absolutely vile, that little hill. And I'm now in 6th. This is where I apply the pressure, because I think I need to go with this front group as much as I can, and I need to get up this hill. And it's a tricky one. Cobbled, 11%. It hurt. I'm up at 187 beats a minute, so as you can imagine, I'm not feeling great. But I'm 5th. This is really good. I've got one more climb, and importantly, I've got the feather power up still, which I'm hoping most people still don't have. I guess we'll just see on this last climb. I don't know what people have got left in the bag, but there's still a pretty big group of, 10 riders here, and then it's a kind of a 2-second, 12-second gap. I'm in a good position. I'd have taken this last climb, feather, front group, it's looking good. I'm going to slow the action down for this last bit though, just so we can see the pain in real time. Okay, so I've slowed us down for this last climb, 1.3 kilometers out. Still got the feather. I'm in a really good position. I'm not feeling as good now. I have absolutely buried myself on the last couple of climbs that we've done. But so is everyone else, and it's hard. It's sometimes easy to forget that. And there's a really healthy group here, and I'm trying to just hang on, and I'm down at 168 beats a minute, so that's good. But 1K to go. This is where I'm not feeling good. I'm suffering now. The injuries to my knees that I've had over the last month or so, I have lost a step in fitness, but this has been, I'm on the comeback trail. Don't call it a comeback, but I'm suffering here, and I'm thinking, shall I use my feather now? I don't want to lose too much distance, but I would like to keep it for a bit longer if I could. But I can see that I'm going to probably, these two guys are probably going to, there you go, that guy popped his feather next to me. I think that prompted me to think, oh boy, I need to, if I can get past this guy, if I can get past our bets, I'd be happy without the feather. But then I realised that I was missing here, 184 beats a minute, and I'm not making any progress on anyone now. So I think, yeah, there's the feather. I pop the feather, get past Kiri, and got our bets in front of me, and then there's a rider in the same leotard as me. I don't know who that is. Pepper. Oh yeah, shout out to you, Pepper. You added me as a companion. So now I'm in 6th. That's pretty good. I think I'm okay with maybe 5th. Yeah, I think I'm 5th. Just trying to hang on to A.C and Arbets Williams and a Swedish rider. I can't see your name at the front. Half a kilometre left. And actually here I'm feeling, even though I'm at 185 beats a minute and I am suffering, I know that they're suffering as well. And I just thought, if I could just get in the draft of this rider in front of me, I can have a really good run at this finish line here with 400 metres left to go. But I'll be honest with you, there's not much left in the tank. I have buried myself on all 6 of these climbs today, more or less, other than the first one, which wasn't too bad at all. But I'm closing the gap. I'm closing the gap on A.C, and I'm feeling like I could maybe get a podium here, which would be incredible for myself, someone like myself. So I'm out of the saddle, just trying to get in this guy's draft, and I think I was out the saddle, but I was back in the saddle. I was really struggling, but A.C's pushing out some decent watts themselves, and I just didn't have enough to get on the podium today. I think in a few weeks' time, I think I could probably do it. I was only about 3.5 seconds behind Gardland, so congratulations to you. So honestly, much better than last week, real progress. I think next week is even more climbing actually, but we'll see. But definite progress, not a bad performance. Disappointing to not get on the podium, but hey, not too bad at all. Thank you for watching. If you like this sort of thing, feel free to subscribe. I try and post every week. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.